I did something that was disrespectful. And a person in my life came to me and he said, when I heard that you did that, I was shocked because I know you're such a respectful kid. What happened in that moment, instead of getting defensive and frustrated and, well, I didn't do that and I wasn't being disrespectful, I actually was like, I want to be a respectful kid. It was like a light switched in my head and I was like, I can't believe I did that. I'm a respectful kid. Why would a respectful kid act disrespectful? And it's a beautiful concept of what being given an identity actually does. When you give someone an identity, they will walk in it. In John 8, when the woman is being thrown in front of the Pharisees and they're going to stone her, Jesus looks at them and says, you who have not sinned, throw the first stone. And they all slowly walk away. Jesus starts probably writing their sins in the ground, and then he looks at the woman and says, and neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. When he says go and sin no more, I don't think necessarily he's believing that she'll literally live a perfect life after that, but rather I think he's saying, you have this identity, now go walk in it. I don't condemn you, go walk in it. No one condemns you, go walk in it. And this is a daily thing. This is not a one-time interaction. This is a constant grace. That's why God's grace is so beautiful.
Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Whew. Sorry about that. Welcome back to the channel. Like I always do, I want to start off by thanking everyone who has been watching, who's been active on all the social medias. Keep in mind, I'm going live on Sundays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for worship, and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for worship again. That's going to be, the first one's TikTok Live on Sundays, and then Wednesdays is Instagram Live. I might switch everything to TikTok, but if you guys want to go follow, by all means, jduran27, or Instagram jduran_27. Thank you again for everyone who's watching. If you do like the video, please like or comment, or even share it with your friends. Any suggestions for upcoming videos, let me know. And again, today's video is going to be about, what is your identity? Now that can sound pretty simple. Oh well, you know, I'm a blue collar guy, and I take care of my family. We're not talking about that kind of identity. We're talking about, when people see you, what do you want them to see? When I first started following Christ, I understood what guilt was, and for the longest time growing up, I didn't have any sense of what it really felt like. And the verse that really got me was, hey, if you feel like you've offended your brother or sister, before you go to the altar to offer a sacrifice, go to them and ask for forgiveness. And even if that is you feeling like they hurt you, or you feeling like you hurt them. And the biggest thing for me was, I want people to see me as the person who they can go to talk about God, to ask questions about their life and advice, and to know that I'm the kind of person that people want to look up to. I want my kids to do the same thing. And I know it's going to take a long time, and for the longest time I did act like a child. I mean, I still do have that childlike mind, but at the end of the day, if my niece came to me and said, hey, I have something to tell you, I just don't know who else to talk to, I'm there. I've heard my nieces cry, pour their heart out, talk about God, talk about the good and the bad. And I'm happy that they see me as that type of person. And they see me and they say, that's the person I can go to if I have any problems. If I need someone to talk to, if I want someone to vent to. He's helped me in so much, and that's what I love. I love that to be my identity. The person that when people go by, they're like, yeah, he's one of those people that you can talk to. He doesn't gossip. He actually listens and hears what you have to say. All right, guys, just picking up where I had left off. So, a big part of my identity, of what I want to see for myself personally, is how I control my guilt. I used to be a bad kid. I used to steal, and I used to lie. I used to hurt people, and I didn't feel anything. No remorse, no guilt, no nothing. And accepting Christ showed me how to understand that it's not just hurting others, it's hurting myself most of all. So I remember this one instance where I felt like I offended someone and I wasn't trying to, but because I told my wife everything, I told her what happened and she said it sounded kind of rude. And I know you're not like that, but the way you made it sound rude. And then all of a sudden I started getting defensive. And then she said, well, if you know what you're doing is right, then there should be no reason to defend it. You shouldn't feel like you have to defend it. And that just like flipped a switch in me and said, wow, yeah, you're right. Maybe I did say it a wrong way and I was overthinking it and I didn't realize that, I might have hurt someone. And it was in the middle of service. So of course I couldn't just get up and go apologize. But after service, the first thing that I did was I went to this person and I said, I'm sorry if I said something earlier that I didn't. It's the way that I was thinking back on the conversation, it made it sound like I was being rude. And he said, yeah, I mean, I appreciate you saying sorry. I didn't feel any type of way, but it did come out that way. And I know you're not like that, so I didn't take it to heart. But imagine someone else who I don't know, and they would have felt like, why am I going to keep talking to this person if the first time I talk to them, it turns out like this? And it got to me. It got me so bad. Like I was anxious and like I felt so bad. And I don't normally feel like that, or I hadn't normally felt like that. But once I started feeling it, it started making me understand that this is real. Like I want people to really understand that it's not easy, but it can be done. All right, guys, this is gonna be the last video for today. Um, whew. This one is honestly, this one's a very easy topic for me. I can get right into it and get right out of it, but that's because I acknowledge it so well. I think another part of having your own identity is realizing that you know where your faults are at and you want to work on them. Not just say, yeah, I know, I was born like that, or I can't ever change because that's just how I am. And I feel like that's not a good enough excuse for you to act the way that you are if you are being, a douchebag or rude or something. And I feel like it's not worth it to keep acting like that if it's not going to be beneficial for you and everyone around you. At the end of the day, like I've said before, no one's going to be there paying your bills. No one's going to be there telling you got to get up for work. No one's going to make sure you got your gas in your car. No one's going to make sure you've done your homework. It's all going to be on you. So everything boils down to how you treat yourself and how you want to show yourself. I mean, we don't want to be 50 years old and still have this childlike mind where you can't take anything serious and you're always being rude and it's never giving anyone the time of day. It sucks, but I know that that's one thing that I've been working on and I kind of keep working on. I don't like a lot of things about me, but I think that gives me a drive to want to try to have a better character, want to do more, want to be more. I've definitely hated the way I was before because I could notice it and my wife noticed it, and of course I would hear it all the time. So it's not like I could just stop, but I could. I had a lot of growing up to do, and I'm glad where I'm at right now. I can give advice to the people who have went through that are going through what I'm going right now and have been. And there's nothing wrong with having your flaws. Just know that if you want to grow as a person, that's one of the things you have to work on. Little by little, people are going to notice that you're working on it and you're taking care of yourself and that you want to be that example. And if you guys take anything away from this video, just know that no one's perfect from the beginning. No one got great being perfect in the beginning. It took a lot of failure and a lot of trial, but it's definitely going to pay off at the end of the day. So that's what I'm going to call it. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys do like the content, again, share, like, subscribe, give me suggestions, follow me on my socials. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. God bless you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.